Hi there YouTube. This is my GEETech i3 3D printer. I got it and I'm just going to do a quick review of what I thought of it so far. With this printer, the first thing that is actually worth noting is that it is not basically, it's not built. You have to put it together, and all the screws and stuff come in these little packets. But basically, once it's been made, it looks like this. Now, there is a lot of features on it. So on this, you can print, but you need to make sure you've got the right settings. So the hardest thing for us has been making the bed level. And the nozzle temperature. Now the nozzle temperature should be around 190 degrees C. Now when you first get it, they tell you to get an app, which is called Easy Print 3D. But that one is terrible. So you should get this one here, which is called Repeater Host, and that is the best one that we could find. So if I'm just going to open it, I'll show you the settings we have for our printer. So you get presented with a screen like this here, and then assuming that you already have the 3D model that you want to, print, first thing you do is you go into File, Load. I'm going to print. What do I need to print? I'm going to do this. So I self-designed this in my own CAD software, so what you can do here is if you go into, if this is too big, like this here, this is the size of the bed, this is clearly too big to fit on it. So what you have to do then is you have to go into Object Placement. There's like this bar on the side here. So you press File, Open, and then you have Object Placement. And then there's all these little buttons along the top. So this one here, this is an export button, so you can export stuff. This one is add another object. This one's copy the object. This one's auto position, center object, scale object, so that's you can change the size, rotate, view cross section, mirror object. But yeah, they're all the different settings you can change. And then you get presented with an X, Y, Z. Now I'm going to change the value of these to 0.3. So I've already printed one thing with this, which is a little barrel head thing for this thing I'm printing. So that will sit just on the end of when this is printed on here. So first of all you have to select this. Then once you've done that, then you just need to go to Slicer, which is the next bar along the top. So you're in Object Placement, now we're in Slicer. Now you have to press Slice with Cura Engine, which is this big button at the top. And when you slice it, what it basically does is it tells the print that basically what the printer does. So when you slice it, tells it how many layers there are, how long it will take. So this estimated printing time will take 42 minutes if I was to print it fully. So before you press print, you need to first of all press connect here in the top corner, and once you've connected it, it should in the top of the top of the screen, it should be you should be presented with this screen, okay? And you have to make sure that this blue cord here is plugged inside your computer. Then you just press connect. And once that is connected, this program is now exporting files to the printer. So what happens now is, if I then press start print, then as you can see, the extruder moves back to the home position and the bed moves back to the home position. So as you can maybe see here, there's little limit switches which determine how far it can go. Now, hang on. Basically, the bed, so it will say up here that the bed is heating, right? And that you want that to be 50 degrees C. Now for the extruder, when the extruder starts heating, which should say down here, you need to make sure that you need to press this button here, like this big knob, and you get presented with this screen. And you go to, Control, select it, then you need to go to Temperature, then you need to press nozzle. Oh wait, so when the extruder is heating, then you need to go to there, press nozzle, and then change it back to 190 degrees, maybe 85, something like that. And at this point, it is worth noting to get a scalpel or something with a blade like this, so a big long flat blade. So, because when that's on there, you need to scrape it off, and this is really good for scraping off the prints. So it's worth getting something like that. Yeah, also the other thing that's worth doing is getting some GT85 or WD-40 or something, and basically just putting it on these axles here, because these spin round. So and it basically means that it's smoother. And another cool thing that you can do is if you put a light on it, then you can see what's happening with the printer. And it's also worth noting with this that you do get some filament with it, but you don't get much, and it doesn't print you that much. So I would recommend getting a big spool like I've got. It was 20 quid, but you know, it was 20 quid on top of 160 quid for this printer. Like, if this is your first printer, right, then this is a pretty good first printer, because it'll print most things, and it's not too big, not too expensive. It's a very good first printer, but if you've had printers before, then this is not really the best if you want another one. But the first thing, so you get presented with all of these little screws. It's worth noting you don't need to use all of them. There are spares. And also, it's worth going online and finding the cabling solution for this. Actually, I'll put a link in the description for that cable management thing, because it can be a bit awkward to do. Yeah. And, oh yeah, the other thing is you've got to make sure that as this filament comes down in here, it doesn't get stuck. And you also need to make sure that the filament actually goes into the nozzle, because you see this little switch here? In the middle there is a cog. There's a cog in there, which is what is spinning to move the filament down, like this. So what you do is, to get the filament actually in there, you need to get someone to hold that all the way down, and then put the filament all the way in, so that the printing can actually commence. So if it doesn't go all the way down, the filament will not come out, as we discovered. That'd be great. Also, those circuit boards are electrostatic, so don't put them anywhere near your clothes. Anyway, so you see here now we've got heating the extruder here. Now we need to press go to control, and then temperature, nozzle, then turn it all the way down to about 185. And then just go back to the info screen. There you go. So now, when this print starts, you see the print come up on here, and I don't know how well this is going to go, because last time I checked, the print bed wasn't quite level. Also, as the extruder heats, some filament tends to come out. It's worth just taking it off, because it can smudge the print. And it sounds a bit obvious, but don't touch this little thing here. It is very, very hot. But you can touch the bed, that's only 50 degrees. But yeah, I'll show you this is the printer settings that I have. Oh, there you go. I'm starting to print. But these are the printer settings that I've got, okay? Oh god. That's the first one. There you go. That is my printing settings. Anyway, so now, as you can... Oh, God. So, it's very important that the bed is level, because you see what's happened here is all this filament has come off. Let me just kill the print. So, if you want to stop it, you have to press kill print as opposed to pause print. But anyway, what's happened here is this side of the bed here is lower than that side. So, as that comes across, it thinks that this is the lowest point. So it drags all of the filament across that way. Now, another important thing to note is that once you're in a print situation like this, okay, and you want to get this whole thing off your screen, you just have to press Object Placement, and you see this thing here. My file is called main bit, and then you can just come along and just tell it to go away. But then you're stuck in this position here. So there is a, I think it's under control. Is it? But there is a feature called Auto Home. Now what that does is that pushes the bed all the way back, the extruder all the way across, and the extruder all the way down. That one is not great. So this is under prepare here. So what you want to do is you want to go all the way down, and then to move axis, select move axis, press move by 1mm, because otherwise it can be problematic. Then it's worth noting as well at this point that the motors that go up are the Z motors. The motor that comes across are the Y motors. So this thing that goes this way is Y. This is Z, and this is X. It's a bit odd, I know. So what I'm going to do is go back into prepare. Move axis by 1mm. The first thing you want to be doing is moving the Z up so that you can actually get at the print. Now, this only goes up to like... Oh, God. You have to be careful that you don't ram it into here or the top. So I put it up by 11mm, so 1.1 here. And then once that's there, then you can go to move axis of Y, and you can move it forward to access the print, okay? So here is a bit. So then you can use this to scrape it all off, and you can start again. Yeah, So, once you've done that, you just need to press kill job and then delete the object, and then you can start again. Well, I hope this was in any way beneficial to anyone who's watching this. Yeah, well, I'll see you in the next one then. Bye.